Hey, it's BT with Tales from a Gemini. My guest today is Michael, the hybrid Billups. He's an MMA fighter out of my home state of Oklahoma. We know the same people. We talked, and I tell you, this guy has got his head on straight. I guarantee in 5 years, he's going to be in the UFC, and he's going to be a champion. Watch out for this guy, Michael, the hybrid Billups. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Hey, it's BT with Tales from a Gemini, man. You know me. I geek out. Two things geek me out. Motorcycles, and my first love has always been wrestling. Always will be wrestling. It's in my heart. It saved my soul. And when I ever get a chance to come back, talk to somebody from Oklahoma who's doing the damn thing, it just elevates me. I just have this great feeling in my heart. And now I knew this dude. I talked to him. If you guys remember, I talked to Jacoby Smith, a dude from my hometown, Muskogee, Oklahoma. He told me about this dude. He goes, hey man, if you get a chance, talk to this fighter right here. He's a good dude. He's got some good stories for you. I said, all right, bet. So I looked him up and I was like, oh shit, this dude's got skills, man. This dude's got skills. He calls himself the hybrid. I want to know why he calls himself the hybrid. But he's a fighter for the XFN. He's a bantamweight champion right now, and he's about to get a fresh fade. He's right in front of the barbershop. My man, Mr. Michael Gabriel Billups. How you doing, Mike?
Yo, I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm glad to be talking to you. First of all, man, right before the show, I said, I bet we know the same people. You went to Union, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, I'm just gonna forget you said that because we don't like Union. If you don't go to Union, then you don't like Union. That's just how it is, bro. But I'm gonna let that slide. Now, when did you graduate though? When did you graduate from Union?
I'm pretty young. I graduated in 2014.
Did you know my cousin? His name was Cameron. He wrestled for Union also. His name was Cameron. Cameron, I think Edwards.
Cameron Edwards?
Yeah, I don't even know my cousin's last name. How messed up is? Yeah, his name was Cameron. It's Cameron.
Honestly, I probably did. If you show me a face, I guarantee you I knew.
He was black on the Union wrestling team. How many black guys on the Union wrestling team, bro? I mean, seriously.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I did know him.
How could you not know him? And now you go, oh yeah, now I know him. Okay, yeah, he was.
It was like a little crew of us. It was like a fraternity.
Yeah, well, of course it is. Like all three of you, I guess. I know how Union is. So, yeah.
It's like 3.5. Yeah.
Yes, I know, man. So okay, so you wrestled at Union. How'd you do high school wrestling? How'd you do?
So honestly, I was pretty good at wrestling. I started wrestling when I was in 7th grade, and I just kind of fell in love with it. And
what was it about it you loved? What was it about it that you loved? I mean, when you first started doing it, because some people, it's like anything else in life. Some people do something, they go, I tried it, I'm gone. But some people, they're attracted to it. I mean, like it talks to them, and it talked to me, and it talked to a lot of it. So what was it about wrestling to you that made you go, this is my path?
Well, one thing, I'm not always the best team player. So I love the fact that it's just me out there. I don't got to worry about someone passing me the ball. I don't got to worry about no one else doing anything. I just have to worry about me, and then the team will take care of itself. So I really like that aspect. And just the fact that man, there's something really honest about wrestling and just combat sports in general, because it's just you versus another dude out there. And the whole time you're getting ready for that match, you're getting ready for that fight or whatever it is, I just have to keep beating myself every day. That's my only competition. I got to beat myself every day to get to that next level. And yeah, no, I love that. And I love the grind of it all. And yeah, I just tried to take my martial arts mentality and put it into wrestling. And I mean, I did pretty good. I did all right.
I looked at it like this. I mean, I'm with you the same way. I looked at high school football. They're doing 2-a-days, and then it boils down to you get beat maybe in a championship game because somebody couldn't pick up a weak side blitz. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I lifted weights at 5:30 in the morning, right? And then we did all this, and it boils down to you didn't do your job, so we got beat. Okay, and then I know in wrestling, no offense, but I didn't give too much of a damn about the team. I was all about me. You know what I mean?
Nah, straight up.
It's we lost the duel. No, you guys lost the duel. I won. won. You know,
you never want to be the guy to lose. Like, you never want to be that dude, you know?
Of course. I mean, our coach always told us never be the weak link on the chain. And that has stuck with me throughout my entire life. And I think sports in general, every sport likes to think that, you know, that sport teaches them life. But I think sports in general teaches you about life. It teaches you about how to get back up. Because you're going to get down. You're going to get pinned.
Yeah.
Everybody gets pinned. Everybody gets knocked out. Everybody gets choked. Somebody's always going to get choked, whatever. But you just got to bounce back. And that's what the great thing about sports. And so I want to know, what was your biggest hit? Like, who hit you to the point in the martial art, in MMA, where you went, I don't know if I really want to do this. I mean, because everybody talks about that hit in high school football that makes football players go to basketball. So what was that hit in MMA that made you go, I don't know if I really want to do this?
I tell people this story all the time. It was actually, so like, I'll never forget it because the anniversary was this Labor Day. So before my very first fight was ever supposed to be, I was training and everything. And I was actually training with another guy from Muskogee, Alfred Freight Train Walker. And we were training and everything. And I went in on a shot and he kicked me square in the mouth with my mouth guard in and knocked my front teeth out. And not only did he knock him out, but he knocked him out whole. And they like put him in milk to save him and everything. Then I went to the dentist and I popped him back in. And I'm sitting at the dentist. And they're like, yeah, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to cancel your fight. And all I said back was, okay, but when do I get back? Like, when do I get to go back to doing it? And they're like, yo, this kid's crazy. Like, I came back to the gym like a week later and I couldn't train or anything yet, but I was just watching, just like waiting for my shot to get back in there. And that's whenever like my coach really like kind of zeroed in on me and was like, yo, like, you really got something. Cause if that was me, I don't know if I would have came back.
Now, where's that mentality come from, though? Like, because it has to be in you. Like I said, it has to be in you. Like I said, but it's not for everybody. It's like I said, you know, like the funny thing that always makes me laugh is like basketball players always say, "Hey, when I went for football, they had the body of a wide receiver, and they had that hit when they went across the middle. They go, okay, basketball it is." You know what I mean? So like,
yeah.
So what's it in you that makes you go, okay, MMA, this is it. This is it for me.
Man, I don't even know how to explain it really. Cause like my mom just kind of like, between her and my dad, they just kind of put that in me. Like from an early age, it was like, no matter, cause I started doing martial arts when I was like 4. Right. And, so I knew like, you know, you're going to get hit and stuff like that. But like one of my toxic traits, I like to say, is that if I get hit, like, I'm going to get that back. And so in the back of my mind, even though I got my teeth knocked out, I was like, one day I'm going to be good enough to where like I'm doing that. Like, I'm never going to put myself in that position again. And like, I just kind of get tunnel vision. And, you know, like I said, I had to get that back. Like, you didn't just knock my teeth out, you hit my pride. So I was like, damn, like I got to find some way to make myself the man again.
Well, did you get him back?
I got him back, but
how'd you get him back? How'd you get him back? What'd you do? What'd you do?
I was about to say, honestly, it was a one-time thing, but like I hit him with a nice head kick, like, and I had just come back to practice. My coach was like, stick and move, and I was like, nah, forget all that. I'm gonna stay right here in the pocket, and I'm gonna fight with this dude. And sure enough, I did, and I hit him with the head kick, like right off the bat. Now he might have hit me with the leg kick afterwards, but I got that hit back. So yeah, nah. And ever since then, I was like, man, I'm just gonna keep hitting people. Like,
good for you. I mean, honestly, I know the feeling. Like, I went down. I sparred, and not say sparred, but we threw some leather, and I went down about see my folks down in Muskogee, and that was when I went to. I love going back to the room and wrestling with the guys. So they had we had some gloves. I don't know who it was. We were trading punches, and he hit me in the nose so hard, and it made that sound like that and where you automatically cry, but you're not crying, but tears come out, but you're not crying. And I think I saw Jesus, I'm not sure, but it was like, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just stick with wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you have to do it. I mean, you have to get back on the horse, basically, no matter what you do, if that's the sport that you want to do, So if you had to fight you, how would you fight you?
Ooh. Uh, Honestly, if I had to fight me, I would, sheesh, I'd pray. But nah, if I had to fight me, I probably a lot of leg kicks. I would avoid wrestling at all costs because I don't care who you are. Like if we go to the ground, like that's a fight. I don't know if you can win. And I would try and stay away from my kicks. Like I would kick you in the legs first, stay away from wrestling, and just try and box you because really that's your only shot with me. And you gotta get by my legs first. And if you get close enough, then I'm gonna take you down. So I don't know.
so basically, that's why you're the hybrid because you can do everything. Is that why?
Yes, sir. Yeah, like when I met my coach, he was like, all right, what do you got? And I was like, well, I'm a black belt in karate. And he was like, oh, okay. And he was like, what else you got? And I was like, I was an All-American wrestler. And he was like, okay, like that. And he was like, well, dang, we might be able to do something with that. And I was like, well, let's see what we can do. And ever since then, yeah, everybody's like, man, he's the hybrid. Like I'll throw elbows, I'll throw people. I just like it. I just like it all. It's funny. I was talking to my mom one time, a long time ago. I probably won like my 4th fight in a row and I was feeling good. And my mom was like, I'll tell you, Michael, she was like, you were always good at combat sports, but like, I've never seen you shine like this. She was like, and I was like, well, Mom, honestly, in MMA, there's no excuse. Like in wrestling, I get mad if I lose a match. I'm like, man, they're lucky I couldn't punch him. In karate, I might lose a match. And I was like, they're lucky I couldn't take him down. But like in MMA, nah, I can do it all. So let's get the fight going,
So this is you. I mean, this is your domain, basically.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, this is like the freestyle of combat sports. And if there's one thing I'm good at, I've always been good at improv. So like, I love that.
No, I think it's great now. I mean, I grew up, in an era where I got a couple years on you. So I grew up at a time where they basically didn't have it. I mean, if it was underground. I didn't know about that. But now you can make a living out of it now, which is great. Which I think is great for wrestlers. Like, but if it didn't, like, what would you be doing if it wasn't for MMA? What would you be doing? And what do you do for a day job now? As a matter of fact, what do you do for a day job now?
So I actually, I'm a personal trainer. I got a couple jobs right now because, if you want to fight in MMA, especially at this lower level and on the way up, like you kind of got to have flexibility. So I was blessed enough to be a personal trainer at 99 Boxing, and I teach kids, and young ladies like just the ins and outs of fighting, just beginner stuff. I can write them up little programs and stuff. And I also work at I don't know if I can even say this on the air, but I work at a grow house.
At the dispensary. At the dispensary, right? Yeah. Man, no, I was going to ask you about that. Now, I know you work there. I don't know if it's illegal. Are you guys get tested for that?
Yeah. So like we get tested for it. So like I'm pretty like lenient on like what I do and like what I can do and everything. I just like I'll do it like after the fights and stuff like that. But really, I just kind of chill. I just work there for the most part. And
do you do CBD oil though? Do you do
yeah.
Well, here's the thing, man. Marijuana has always been demonized, always, and and I used to go along with that because it was back in the stringent days where it's 3 channels and you were the channel changer with no remote control or whatever, and things were so stringent. But now you realize, man, the medical benefits of marijuana and the demonization needs to stop because it does help, and it does help a lot of people because I think. I had both my hips replaced and twice in the same year. In the same year. And so, the worst thing in the world was getting on those opioids. It put me in a bad mood. I'm always a jovial part, but a bad mood. And I was sweating and I had bad dreams. And then once like I ran out of my pills, but I saw the doctor the same day and he goes, no, you're good. You want to get a refill? And I go, no, I don't. But that's where I got, and that's why I understood in a way how people get addicted to opioids, because I used to be one of those people, I'm not going to lie, I used to point the finger and go, wow, those people are drugs. But I get it now, because if the government or a doctor prescribes opioids and you have an addictive, your DNA is addicted to that, then you get hooked and they point a finger and say, hey man, this guy's an addict. They'll, no, you put me on it. Now I'm addicted. So help me. So now I understand about what you're saying about, with the marijuana or, the dispensary or whatever. But we need to stop demonizing that. And that's why I knew Oklahoma had changed when I went back and I was like, what the hell? I mean, dispensary, everywhere in Oklahoma now. I'm like,
oh yeah, they're up like McDonald's. Like,
no, you get a drive-through, get a nickel bag and some fries.
Oh, nah, for real. Like there's dispensaries with drive-throughs and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, like, I have like a couple people that sponsor me and stuff. And it's been great. Like, it's crazy because like even one of my first bullies ever, he owns a dispensary, right? From when I was a kid. Yeah. And he sponsored me. And I was like, bro, look at God. Like, that's crazy, ain't it? But
did he beat you up when you were a kid?
I ain't gonna put all that on the air because I'm undefeated in my mind. But like,
well, how old was he? How old were you guys?
Man, we were probably like 4.
Oh, come on, man. Everybody at 4. Come on. What? So what did he do? Did he knock over your Legos or made you eat Play-Doh? What did he do?
He kept touching my Megazords, man. I was like, bro, this is my show and tell. Don't touch my show and tell, bro. And then he talked to the girl that I thought was cute. And I was like, man, I don't like this guy. I don't like him. I don't like him. We cool now. Well,
I hope so. You were 4 years old. I hope you're cool. Y'all squashed by the time you got in 3rd grade. Like, hey, man, I don't know why we beefing like this.
I was about to say, bro, like, it was like Tupac Biggie. Like, I was not feeling this dude, man. That was the first time in my life that my parents were like, hey, look, you got a bully. This is what you gonna do. They like were teaching me how to fight. And a week later, I was in karate lessons. So I was like, yeah, nah, this is it.
But you know what, though? But that, in a way, that's how life works in a way. I mean, and great. And shout out to your parents, man. I mean, you can't, to me personally, I hate that myth of the black family or the absentee father. That's the myth I hate more than anything, because growing up,
absolutely,
and I could tell by you and what my neighborhood grew up in Muskogee. Muskogee didn't have a great reputation. It still doesn't. But when they
for sure.
But in my neighborhood is my dad, and there's another neighbor. And the city wouldn't cut this grass they were supposed to cut. They didn't cut it. So instead of always calling, they decided to take it upon themselves to do it. And man, they took care of the neighborhood. And whenever we mess up, that neighbor would tell our parents on us, or he'd discipline us, and it was vice versa. And that's just, you can't. I love the family network of what you have, what I had. And that's never to be underrepresented, especially in Oklahoma because of the past, or just anywhere. I mean, I don't want to put in Oklahoma, but so like, what were your parents like growing up? What were they strict on you, or were you the oldest? How was it?
So I'm the oldest boy, but I'm like the 3rd child. I got 2 older sisters. My oldest sister, side note, she's actually pregnant. She's gonna have a girl, so shout out to her. I love you, Kiana.
Well, Kiana, hello, Kiana. Good luck. I hope it's nice and healthy. That's all I care about.
Absolutely. And I got a little brother named Brandon, and I was just the oldest boy. And my mom and dad, they were ministers growing up. Like,
really?
Yeah. So
what denomination?
Non-denominational. Like my dad and my mom met in the military, and then they moved to Oklahoma so my dad and my mom could go to Rhema Bible Church. And honestly, the way I look at it, I knew God, like, they knew God had a plan. And because like, otherwise, I don't even know if I'd be fighting or doing what I'm doing if I hadn't ended up where I'm at. Like, I remember my mom and dad we were all going to Rhema when I was a kid. And then we ended up going to this other church. And that's where I ran into some friends of mine that took me to Apollo's martial arts. And like, that's where I really like started my martial arts journey and started fighting and stuff. So yeah, no, 100% God had a plan. And but back to my parents. They were kind of strict growing up. They were kind of strict growing up. They they're definitely on my head. They always just wanted the best for me though. Like 100%. They just wanted me to like be the guy they knew that I could be. You know what I'm saying? I remember I had like kind of an epiphany one time. It was like this whole time I've been, walking around with the chip on my shoulder, this, and this, trying to prove people wrong. But like, I got a lot of people that already believe in me and I just want to prove them right. You know what I'm saying? So like,
so what was the chip from though? What was the chip from?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm a young black man in Oklahoma and just like,
well, trust me, I know.
The odds are kind of against you out here. And like, especially in a place like Tulsa, people kind of have like a crabs in the barrel mindset.
Oh,
everyone's trying to like.
That's a great analogy, man. I love that. I mean, no, trust me when I say you can feel free to talk, because I went back. It's only a couple months ago. I took my mom out for her birthday to get, and some stuff happened, and I was like, man, here we go with this bullshit again. And you can't escape it. And I know the frustration, man. And don't get me wrong though. I'm glad I grew up there. I'm more than glad I'm glad I grew up there, because growing up there taught me, man, if I can make it through there, I can make it through anywhere. I mean, just
literally.
Because, I mean, don't get me wrong. And there were a lot more positives than negatives. Definitely a lot more and there's a lot more good people than bad people. But at the same time, trust me, man. I'm glad you brought it up, because I was gonna just skip it. But I'm glad you brought it up, because I mean that's one of the main reasons I left. I go, man, I gotta get out of here. I can't deal with this. And my whole goal in life for me was just to get out of Oklahoma. So trust
Straight
me,
up, yeah.
I know that chip. And so how did you get in trouble? Like, did you ever test your parents? Did you ever get in trouble at, you don't seem like a troublemaker, but did you ever get in trouble at school because somebody said something and you seized up on that opportunity, if you know what I mean? Did you get in trouble for that? I mean, like, how were you? And did you ever, like I said, did you ever test your parents? Even though they were ministers, they tried to beat the devil out of you?
Yeah. once or twice for sure. Everyone's got the black sheep, and that was definitely me. I smoked weed in high school, and honestly, that was like the worst thing I did though. Like realistically, that was probably the worst thing I did. And my mom and dad just weren't okay with that. And this is crazy, but like, I remember my senior year, right? I am killing it in wrestling. I'm the dude and everything's been going great. But I had smoked weed at a tournament, and whenever I had smoked weed at this tournament, a manager that we had on the team, I won't name her because everyone's gonna hate her after this, but
word's gonna get out. But anyway, word's gonna get out.
Right. But she had like wrote a letter. She didn't just snitch to my coaches. She like wrote a letter to administration that I had smoked at this tournament. And whenever it got out, like it was like such a big deal. It was just like, Michael Billups, what? Michael Billups? And I was like, yeah, it was me. And I ended up getting suspended like my senior year, and it definitely messed with a little bit. It messed with my life's trajectory a little bit, like messed with scholarships and stuff like that. But it was definitely a sad time. But even then, like, man upstairs had my back, because fast forward, years later, through all the nonsense, I've started my MMA career and all that. My former high school wrestling coach, Kevin Crutchmer, he gave me an opportunity to go wrestle for him in college. And
where'd you go to college?
I went to a Ouachita Baptist in Arkadelphia, Arkansas.
Okay.
And I wrestled for him for about 2 years. And it was, honestly, it was what I needed to kind of like get my head back on straight and just figure some stuff out. It made my wrestling better, made some good connections. Like, yeah, man, it was a blessing in disguise, honestly.
Well, back to the snitch. Why did she snitch?
Yo, that's something I will never understand, because a week before she let me cheat off her in Spanish class. So I thought we were cool. Like we went back like spinal cords and car seats, you know what I'm saying? So like I was like,
I love you kids. Spinal cords. I love you kids.
I was like, bro, like what did I do? Like I was like, did I not, like, was I supposed to take you out? I didn't know, but yeah, so it was crazy.
Did you ever talk to her after she snitched? Did you ever talk to her afterwards?
Yo, this is how I know I grew up, because like I ran into her at the mall, and this is like years after it happened, and I was just like, hey, Alex, I'll be honest with you, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm just gonna let you know, like, I forgive you, because you didn't know what you were doing, And honestly, I'm still on track with what I'm trying to get done. I'm still fighting. I'm still like doing my thing. I'm taken care of. So like you definitely, put a speed bump on my life, but you don't have any control over my life. And like everything that I felt towards you, like it's done now. I don't really I'm not going to give you no space in my life. There's no reason for you to take up real estate in my head.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. That's a sign of great maturity. It took me years to get to that moment to where you're at. It took me years, but when you do that, it releases stuff in the universe. And man, it's so freeing because I mean, like you said, sometimes those people occupy that real estate in your head, where even if it's a small little corner space, they occupy that. But once you release that, you're like, you know what? I'm good now. And it's weird.
You're free.
It sounds so like, hey, man, hippie-like, but it's so, because I'm a firm believer in just throwing stuff out to the universe, and the universe hears everything you say, so.
Straight up.
So when you said it to her, what did she say back?
Honestly, she was speechless for a second. She was just like, I don't know what to say. And I was like, I mean, you could say sorry, but like, I was like, but it's all good. And I just kind of like left it at that. And I let her get a selfie with me because I was like, I'm gonna be worth a lot of money one day.
Good for you.
And yeah, that was that.
Honestly, now I would have skipped the selfie. I would have been like, "Hey, man, we're good." I would have said that, but I would have just walked. You know what I'm good at? I'm not gonna lie. I don't brag on myself, but I'm good at just acting like you're not there. I mean, I like you can be right here and talking to me, and if I'm done with you, I'm done with you. I'll do anything, and I won't touch you. But I'll act like you're. I act like you're like the Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis. I'll act like you're not even there, bro. And that's just how I am. I'll speak my piece. Hey, look, we're done. I mean, I forgive you, whatever. But from here on out, hey, you're out of my life. I don't even know, and I'll go back my way. But I wouldn't have done a selfie. You're a better man than me. I wouldn't have done a selfie. I wouldn't have done a selfie. But God, man, that's beautiful, dude. Where did you learn that from, though? I mean, I know your parents are ministers, whatever. But where did you learn that part from? That, hey, I'm gonna talk to you. What you did was kind of messed up, but hey, look where I'm at now. So, and I'm going this way. I don't know where you're going. I really don't care where you're going. Let's get this selfie and you can go on and get the hell on, whatever, Yeah. Where'd you learn that from?
I really can't take too much credit. Like, yeah, I like to read and stuff. I got really into psychology in like my senior year of high school. And like my mom, dude, honestly, yeah, my mom and my dad, they just like, even though they're ministers, and everyone's like, religion. Like my mom and dad are spiritual people to the core. So like, and like, they're just really logical on how they like think about things. And so like me growing up, like under, their guidance and tutelage is just like, that's all I know realistically. Like, I feel like a lot of people sometimes when I talk, they don't even know what to expect because like I am a fighter and I do smoke weed and I do all these things, but it's like deep down, like, nah, bro, I'm still a person and I still think about these things. Like, I think to be the best fighter I can be, I have to think about these things. I have to like sit with myself, figure out my shortcomings so I can get to the next level. It's just like analyzing fights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got to figure out my weaknesses so I can get to the next level and not have to keep running into that stuff. Cause like life is a test and like, luckily you can redo stuff, but I don't want to keep redoing stuff. Once I pass the test, I just want to be done. You know what I'm saying? So I just try and like
next level,
learn and keep passing the test. Like one of my old coaches, he's from Muskogee, but he used to say 1% better every day. 1% better every day. No matter what you're doing or where you are in life, you got to get 1% better every day.
Who's that coach? Who was that coach?
Oh, that was Danny Jefferson.
Yes, because his father coached me.
Yeah.
His dad. And matter of fact, that's what his dad used to say. And his dad, I'll honestly say this from the bottom of my heart, man. You go through that life. I don't know if you went through it with that stage where maybe you and your old man, they're not getting along. You're not getting along, and that's probably a little bit of both. You're getting to the point where you think you're a man, and you really listen to your parent. And I'll say this from the bottom of my heart for there was a period in my life where close to my dad, he was the most important dude in my life. I listened to Coach Jefferson, everything he taught taught me, and I listened and I did it and I achieved so much. He goes, you got to do a little extra. And I did a little extra. Like and my parents to this day still don't know this, but I was kind of chubby in 8th grade. I was kind of chubby. And so I wanted to, and I knew he was going to be my high school wrestling coach eventually, like when I got to high school. So I knew he liked to run, and so I didn't have I didn't eat a school lunch from 9th grade until from 9th grade on. I never had a school lunch. I just saved the money and whatever, and I would run on my lunch hours. I would run because I didn't want to be the weak link on the chain. I remember that speech he said, "Don't be the weak link on the chain," and he talked about getting better. And that summer before, I came within one match of going to state my junior year, and I cried like a baby. And he goes, "You got to do something extra, and that's how you're going to get there." So that summer, we go to the hot ass wrestling room at Muskogee High, and we'd wrestle, and I'd run. And I mean, in Oklahoma in August and June and July, I put on my hoodie and I put on my long sweats, and I would run 2 and 3 miles a day. Did sprints at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon because I wanted to work out at the hottest time possible with the hoodie on, hood drawn, tied up because I wanted to suffer. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, Coach Jefferson was the most important figure in my life, man.
Nah, for real. Like people don't understand until they do it or until they're in it. But like almost everything that I am, aside from my parents, it literally comes from like wrestling. Like I owe my work ethic. I owe like my grit, just like my mentality, like my shape, all to wrestling. And it's just like, it's crazy to see how it translates into your adult life, So it's beautiful, man. It's a journey.
Now, what's books like psychology books or spiritual books that have made a difference in your life? For me, I always go The Secret, which to me, The Secret is one of the best books I've ever read. The Secret and Project 369, because there was a Nikola Tesla book that based everything on mathematics. Everything turns out with the numbers 369, and it's about affirmations and speaking it out to the universe. And those two books, man, I'm telling you, they made such a great difference in my life. So what books do you go to or that made it click for you?
Oh, man. Sheesh. I read a couple of Zig Ziglar books growing up. One of my high school coaches, he gave me a book called From Good to Great. And that was a big game changer for me. And it was like, it was crazy because like, I like to think of things like there's like universal principles and there's like, there's like spiritual principles and just like there's like a list of them, you know what I'm saying? And so like as I'm reading these books, like How to Be a Man 101 and The Secrets to Success and just like Good to Great, things like that. I'm reading these books and then like I would like get something out of the books and I'm like, man, that kind of sounds like something that I read in the Bible. So I go back to the Bible and I'm like reading it and I'm like, yo, these are the same principles,
yes,
just written completely different. You know what I'm saying? And so like, I think a lot of people get confused on what's what, but I'm like, hey, like it's the same. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how you word it, but that's the same principle. And it's a universal principle. Like what you sow is what you reap. And like, just things like that. So as I was reading,
oh, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead. I'm very sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. I was just going to say, like, as I was reading, that's what like really got me. I was like, no matter what I run into in life, this principle is going to be the same. So I have to master this principle if I want to get to the next step. You know what I'm saying? And
definitely. I mean, because there's people who don't, they're atheists, whatever. And I grew up in Oklahoma. So, I grew up in that kind of like that old school kind of, the church mentality. I felt like, and it's weird, like I felt like I'm leaving that organized religion kind of thing. And I wouldn't say atheist, but yes, those same principles and what it basically boils down to, if you take out the religious wording in it, whatever, it's all about faith and throwing it out to you. Yes. A prayer is actually you talking to the universe and it hears you. So if people aren't into religion or Jesus or God or whatever you pray to or whatever, if you take that away and you're an atheist, you're still talking to the universe and it still deals with faith.
Absolutely.
So the basic principles are faith. And if you got to believe, and it's faith and belief, because faith without works is nothing, whatever, something like that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm talking about. And honest, so that work, if you're listening right now and you're atheist, whatever, you don't get in religion, Don't worry about that. If it is a quote from the Bible, because the one that gets me through all the time is "This too shall pass." So I mean, no matter how down you get, okay, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better, and you gotta ride that wave out, bro. You gotta ride. And what always helps me also is, and it's where I take a sheet of paper like this, and I get a Sharpie, and I write what I want to happen that day. I write it that night. I look at it, read it out loud, then I go to bed. Now I wake up, look at it, I say it out loud, I let it go. And during the course of a day, sometimes that stuff happens, sometimes it doesn't. But during the course of a day, sometimes all of it works out. You look at it like, holy moly. And that's how and that's how I get through life. And that's what always helped me. Because like you said, I love the psychological aspect of it. Because it's all in here. It's all in here. You know what I mean? So I love that you got your head on straight like that, man. I mean it from the bottom of my heart, because it's all mental and it's all about faith and belief, whether it's in yourself or, in a higher power or how you believe or don't believe.
Mm-hmm. And like, I just feel like, I almost lost my train of thought, but I just feel like genuinely, if there's two things that have gotten me to where I am, it's my faith and my hard work, like straight up. And, you got to have faith in you. Like, if you don't believe in anything, that's fine, but you at least got to believe in yourself and then go put that work in. And that's for absolutely anything. Another quote I love to live by is like, everything I am or am not is equivalent to how hard I have or have not worked. And so I just got to keep reminding myself, like, hey, bro, if you don't have that car you want, if you don't have, that girl you want, or you don't have the position you want, you just got to work harder. And like, sometimes I feel like life kind of hits you with something just to let you know, hey, you were getting comfortable. That's why that hit you. Like, you got to be okay with being uncomfortable. And I mean, if that means opening, like, what's his name? Snyder, wrestler. He, one of his quotes, he was like, I make myself uncomfortable every day. And that's like as small as opening the door for people. It'd be easier to not open the door for people. Yes. But I'm going to do it. Just like saying thank you, saying like, I'm going to make myself uncomfortable. I'm going to ask the questions that don't want to be asked, have the conversations that don't want to be had. Because like the more used I am to being uncomfortable, the easier everything else is. So, yeah. It's all about taking cold showers in the wintertime. It's what I do. I mean, seriously, I work out. Yeah. And it might be cold. And I go, oh. But taking that cold shower, man, and it wakes me up or whatever, it works the bite. I love doing that. Another thing you should work on is keeping that damn camera straight. Because I can't see you, man. Like, damn, can you keep the camera straight? I'm trying to talk to you. I'm like, is he having a stroke? What's going on? So I move my hands a lot when I start talking. No, man, but you know what? If I was watching you, and from afar, if I had to name you, I would name you the Quiet Storm. I would call you Michael Gabriel, the Quiet Storm Billups. Now, tell me if I'm wrong on this, but you seem like a guy that even though you're into it, you're going to fight, you seem calm. And you might be having nerves, but every time I've watched you fight through your videos, you seem really calm. But when it's time to get down, you get down at it's controlled chaos. So I would name you the Quiet Storm. What nickname would you give yourself? Man, I don't even know. Like Black Panther, Chocolate Thunder. Like Chocolate Thunder. Wait, are you a male dancer now? What? God damn, man. Man. You took it a different level, bro. It would definitely bring people in. It would bring people to the fights for sure. Yeah, you start like, yo, what's he gonna do? You gonna start an OnlyFans and girls be like, hey, what's up, Thunder? So before we get sidetracked, man. Like I know you met one of your idols, man, Anderson Silva. What was that like? Yo, like. It was a very surreal, like it was a surreal thing because like, one, he's a lot bigger in real life, like way bigger. Yeah. Dude could play basketball, but he knocks people out. So that's cool too. And he was just cool. Like he was like such a dad, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like he was like, oh no, you want to do it like this because of this. And like, the way just his mentality on things, like one of the things he said, he was like, you see these hands? when these hands are coming for you, you're fighting for your life. Like, imagine those hands are blades. You don't want to get touched by the blades, right? And I was like, right. And he was like, then don't get touched by the blades. And he was like, I was like, okay. And all of a sudden I'm moving and I'm parrying and dodging. And I was like, oh, wow, like that's crazy. And so like just the way that he did things and the stuff that he showed wasn't even like, it wasn't like crazy, like do a backflip off the wall technique. It was just like, it was very basic, but the way that he applied it was just like, it was profound. And whenever the dude spoke, the whole gym shut up. It was like Jesus was talking. We were just like, yo, like, hey, man, everyone like, hey, hey, pay attention. Like, and yeah, no, it was cool. It was really cool. He was really down to earth, super humble guy. Like, especially for someone who has all the records and accolades that he does, like just so humble. And so, I mean, watching him interact with us the way he did after everything that he's done, I was like, nah, that's who I want to be. Like, I want to be that guy. Whenever I come into places, I don't want people to be scared of me. I just want people to respect me. Like,
I'm telling you, I'm watching all your stuff. And I do mean all your stuff. And I'm like, let me tell you something, man. All you got to do is take care of yourself in the ring. I think you're a gold mine. I think if you had endorsed a product, I definitely would have you endorse any product. I mean, I saw you, with your GQ smooth. You looking GQ smooth. I mean, with your suit, you look good. I know it sounds, I hate saying this, but you're very well spoken. And I mean, you kick ass and you have a great smile. You have everything that if I had a product that you could endorse. I mean, all you got to do is take care of yourself in the ring. I ain't got to worry about out the ring. You got a great head on your shoulder. You got two great parents. I'm telling you, man, you've got everything going for you. Like I see nothing but great things happening for you. I really do.
Yo, I really do appreciate that because like I'm doing my best to make sure everything is right and taken care of just so I can get to that next spot. And like I got goals. I want to buy mom a house and dad a car, and I'm going to do it through this. I'm going to do it through my art. So
okay, dream life. Okay, I'm going to ask you questions. Dream life, and I don't want you to think too hard, but boom, if you had to buy your dad a car, what would you get him?
Jaguar. He's always wanted a Jaguar.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Dream house for your mom. Where would it be? What would it look like?
Honestly, if I had to buy a house for my mom, I would buy a house for her probably back in Cali because that's where she's from, and that's where her family's from, and like, I know part of her is always wanting to go back there. So like
Southern or Northern? Yeah, Southern or Northern?
Closer to Northern, more Bay Area, like San Jose.
Oh my God. Well, you better start fighting real quick. Better start fighting. And we're going to that dispensary on the side, if you know what I mean. Because them houses in the Bay Area cost a lot of money. Yes. And for you, like what kind of dream life would you like? Where would you want to live?
Oh man, dude. Shoot, it like all bills paid, nothing to worry about. Honestly, I'd probably move to California too. I'm not gonna lie. Like I got a West Coast spirit about me.
Yeah, I can tell, man. Yeah, you're so West. That's why I'm like, really, Oklahoma? I mean, people do me the same way. I was just I was just traveling. I was in Italy and I was in Germany and whatever. And everywhere I travel, people go, "Where are you from originally?" And I said, "Oklahoma." They go, "You don't speak like from Oklahoma." I go, "Yeah, my dad made sure we didn't." So, honestly, I feel that same way about you when you talk and everything. I go, "Man, this dude." I mean, you have like a laid back kind of mentality. Like I said, if I had to give you a name, it'd be the Quiet Storm because you're just like laid back. But when it's time to get down to work, you get down to work. But you're just cool, bro. From your glasses to the cut you're about to get to your philosophy on life. You lay back and you smoke a little bit. You're just cool, bro. I mean that. So I know you mentioned superheroes. What would you? Who was your superhero growing up? Who was your favorite?
Oh man, I'm not even gonna lie. Like Batman was like my first dude. I was like, bro, he's rich and he can beat everybody up. Like
that's the way I feel. I go, listen, man, Batman could be partying. He could be doing blow. He could be chasing women. But what's he doing? He is saving the city on his own dime. How can you not like somebody like that? I mean, he could be jet set. He could be like Leonardo DiCaprio, hitting up young chicks, doing whatever. But instead, he's saving crime. How can you not like that?
Now, see, I loved him. And then I found out about Spider-Man and Black Panther. And I was like, okay, so hold on. Spider-Man is just like cool. And he talks mess to everybody, which I love. Like if you can talk ish and save the day, you a bad dude. Like you a bad dude. And then Black Panther, I was like, he's like a black Batman. He's a black Batman who owns a country. Like, what? How am I supposed to? How are other heroes supposed to compete with this guy if he's like already my favorite? But he looks like me. He looks like me. So
yes, representation, skin in the game.
100%. And like, honestly, as a kid, I didn't even like really realize that that's what it was. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, yo, that actually kind of matters. That's crazy. You know,
I mean, honestly, I think you're coming up in like, how old are you? I'm
26.
Oh, I hate you. You got good. You got good everything. Nothing really hurts. I hate you. But yeah, I mean, so I'm seeing this generation is great. Is that I feel like the layers are being peeled back, and you're seeing how the lies that have been perpetrated, everything, and the truth is coming forward. But the strange thing growing up when I grew up there, my parents knew everything too, and there was no internet. Like my dad knew all this stuff and there was no, and like, how do you know that, Dad? And it's unbelievable. But now you guys have it. And I think it's great. Like you said, you have representation. I think Black Panther was great in the sense of now you got little black kids who can go, that can have somebody to look forward to. They can look up to that looks like them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, and people don't understand it, but it does help. It really does. And if you wouldn't have took our history away and, in schools or whatever, it could help them that way also. I don't think we'd have half the problems we have in the world now or in inner cities if you would just tell the truth and have somebody they can look up to and go, oh, we did all that, then that could be my hero. If they would teach that instead of being afraid, I was like, what's to be afraid of? You got your heroes, we can have ours, and we can coexist better that way. That's the way I feel.
Yeah. No, that's straight up. Like this is funny side story, but like, so I sold cars for a while, and I remember I'm selling this car to this family. Dad's a doctor, and he's there with his son, his little son. He's probably like a 7-year-old, and his wife, and his son has on an Avengers shirt, and I was like, oh man, dude, I love the Avengers. Who's your favorite Avenger? And he goes, and it was a white family, but he goes Black Panther, and I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And his mom's like, he dressed up for him for Halloween. And I was like, oh, really? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like thinking, I was like, how did that go? And and she goes, I'm not going to lie to you. We definitely got a couple of weird looks. And I was like, but see, like the thing is, I was like, I don't even think that that's a bad thing. Because for years and years, we had to dress up like Spider-Man and Batman and Superman, and all these people are white. So honestly, I didn't see the problem with like a young white kid looking up to a black superhero. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? And that's like, I think people looked at it the wrong way. And I'm like, no. That's good. That's good, because I need people to understand that we're superheroes too. We're superheroes too. And we do things, and like, it's not talked about enough. And, like, why is that a bad thing?
Yeah, there's no negative there. There's no negative. We're not talking down about somebody else. It's just somebody they can look up to. And it's funny you say that, because the same way I have a roommate, she has a son, and they're white, and she has a son, he's white, and he got the Black Panther with the little thing, and he got the mask and everything, and nobody said anything either. And I go, this is great. And he has friends that are black, and they don't think that way until a parent puts it in a kid's ear. They just want to play. And he had a friend, next door neighbor, he was black. And I remember him getting off the bus, and he goes, hey, you want to play with me? And it's the most innocent, that's just play. And I wish people would see that. And if we have representation, man, it just helps the world. I really think if you would have done it from the get-go, when maybe years and years ago, even when I was growing up, show our heroes and what we've done to contribute to our society, instead of keeping it, hidden or whatever, what we've done, then we could have our heroes. And I seriously think it wouldn't be so bad now. Granted, you might have, you're always gonna have some problems here and there, but it wouldn't be as bad as it is now. Kids wouldn't join street gangs, and they would have somebody to look forward to look up to.
And like, this is gonna sound, I don't even know how this is gonna sound, but like realistically, like not even realistically, like my dream growing up, I always wanted to be the guy that people could look up to. I wanted to be the president. I wanted to be a superhero. I wanted to be, this, and this. And that's one thing I love about being a fighter and like being a professional athlete, is that like, I feel like there are ideals and aspects and just like topics that people don't want to talk about or people don't want to say.
Yes.
But I will happily be that guy just because like it needs to be said. And I want kids to have someone that like they can look up to. Like I genuinely want to be somebody that like that your kid can be like, nah, I want to be like Michael Billups. Like Michael Billups thinks this way and like that's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay to think that way. And I hope that I'm like portraying myself in a way that people can look up to. So I'm just gonna keep doing my best, you know?
No, and that's all you can do. But I don't understand how having dialogue is a bad thing. You know what I mean? But I do think it has to be on a 1-on-1 because you get more than two or three people, then it turns to yelling matches. And if it turned like you and I talking, I totally agree with that. So if you were a superhero, what would your powers be?
Oh, if I was a hero, honestly, it'd probably be like time travel or like
time travel,
super speed.
I hope you're going to the future. You don't want to go to the past, do you? you don't want to go to the past, do you, bro? You might not make it back. You might not.
With my mouth, I will not make it back. But like,
you can pull over
all the time. Man, like I tell people all the time, I'm like, it's a good thing I'm born now because like back then I'd be an issue. But
Okay. And what would your name be? What would your name be?
Oh,
I'm telling you, Quiet Storm. I'm telling you, you show up like, and he's here like, hey, Quiet Storm. He's like, hey, what's up? How y'all doing? Y'all good? Y'all good? What y'all need? What y'all need? And you would just solve the ills of the inner city, all cool. Oh, and then people be like, man, what's up with you, man? Look, bro, I don't think you want to do this, bro. Man, what you want to do? And then, boom, they go. And before they fall down, you help them back up. You pour some water on and go, what happened? Man, I just knocked you out, brother. But it's cool, brother. It's cool. You don't understand who I am. I'm the Quiet Storm.
Just go to sleep. Go to sleep.
You okay, bro? You okay? Hey, somebody help my brother out over here. You know what I mean? And you go and fight crime, whatever, and and then you leave. You be the Quiet Storm. You a smooth brother, real smooth, always nice, helping old ladies across the street. Getting cats down from trees. But when it comes time to get down, you gets down.
Bro, don't play with me because I like to write. I just need an illustrator. I love to write, so
there you
can do it.
I'm gonna give you that idea, and if you go ahead and do it, I gave you that idea. Man, I won't even want no money. I'll be like, hey, is he the new superhero? Who? It's some guy. It's a black guy named Michael Billups, and he's calls up the Quiet Storm. I go, are you serious? And I'd be happy for you. Hey, because what am I gonna do to you? Beat you up? Hey, Mike. Hey, tell Mike I'm outside, man. I got a we're gonna settle this. What am I gonna do? Take my shirt off as a 50-year-old man? Like, you tell Mike to meet me in these streets, and tell him to bring my medication too. I mean, what am I gonna do to you, bro? Let's just be honest.
I'm gonna dedicate every comic to you from now on. I'm gonna be like, nah. He put me on. He actually named me. He named me. He gave me my first comic strip. Like I was like,
The Quiet Storm. It has a cool track, like some Erykah Badu. Like, oh shit, Mike.
He gave me the Erykah Badu playlist.
Yeah, you just like smooth. Just show up. But listen, man. I don't think y'all want to do that, bro. I don't think y'all want to do that, man. Why? You about to find out, bro. But it's all love, though, bro. It's all love.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So listen, man. Before we get here, now you're a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, see, I that's when I left jiu-jitsu. I was a blue belt too. So if I come down to Tulsa, maybe we can get a little roll in or something.
Oh, absolutely. I roll at Brothers Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
They're they're like a sub gym from Triton. But there's just like nothing but talent and grit in that room. Like I roll with like Micah Metcalf, Hunter Colvin, dudes that are like, honestly, if you knew them, you wouldn't have guessed it, but dudes are ranked in the world. Like they are some legit rollers. And honestly, I owe like the last probably like 2 years of my career to those guys. Cause the first year they just been choking me out and doing things to me. And I was like, all right, well, this is whack. But then like the second year I started getting a little better, and now it's fun. It's fun over there. I love those dudes.
Do you remember getting choked out the first time?
Honestly, the first time I really, really got choked out was my pro debut, and I'll never forget that because like I ended up and the crazy thing was like I was winning the fight. I was winning the whole fight, and then I slipped, right? And dude's on the cage, and he just like was just conscious enough where he was like grab the neck, and he just like hopped on. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, man, I can get out of this. I can get out of these things all the time. But I looked up at the clock and I was like, yo, that's a lot of time. And like, dude, like choked me out, put me to sleep. I woke up and I was like, no. And yeah, that was my first loss. But I'm just going to say it. We came back, had a rematch with that dude, and I knocked him out in the first round.
Oh my God.
We weren't playing no more games. But yeah, no, that was the first time I ever got choked out. And that was the last time I was going to let that happen. So
I remember getting choked out, and it's a weird feeling because it's the greatest sleep, and it's brief, but it's the greatest sleep.
Yeah,
you wake
deep.
up. Yeah,
deep.
It is. You wake, you almost dream, and you wake up like, hey man, what happened? You doing this like, you don't get that long ass snap. You're like, hey man, what happened? And everybody looking over you like, yeah man, this is what happened, bro. You lost. And like you said, no.
In front of everyone?
Yeah. The only thing you worry about, did I shit myself? Okay, I didn't. Okay, good. But yeah. Because sometimes, things happen. But honestly, from the bottom, I remember getting choked out and I was like, it wasn't that bad. But it's funny because you're going, okay, I'm going to get out of this. And then you don't. And then boom, and it's over, and then it goes like this. It starts getting like that. So yeah,
man. It was like slowly pulling the blinds down, and I'm like, oh man, like, why is it so dark? Like, what? I got so many questions. Like,
I love how you went. Oh man, that's a lot of time.
Hey man, it was like a minute and 40 seconds on the clock, and I was like, oh my God, like that's way more than I thought. Y'all said 30 seconds. But yeah, no, that was that.
Man, I am not gonna lie, dude. You have no idea how happy I was to do this. I mean, just because, I'm gonna lie. One, you're a wrestler, being from Oklahoma, and I saw your. I think you know my cousin. My nephew is Braylon Terrell. He went to BA.
Oh man, yeah. What? Braylon's here?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's my nephew. Yeah.
That's my dude. Like, we've been friends since probably like 8th grade. Like, yeah.
That's my dude. That's my dude, man. Yeah. So, man, yeah. Tell him I had you on. I mean, honestly, that's my dude. I love that kid. We've always loved BJ. BJ's just always been that kid, man. Always been.
Absolutely. No one in Tulsa could say a bad thing about Braylon.
Here's how great he is. Hey, he's had white girlfriends and their parents wanted him to come over. I was like, are you serious? Not even as a setup. You know what I mean? Like, he had a Russian girlfriend, and I remember she was over at my brother's house, and I was like, is your girlfriend? He goes, yeah, where you from? She goes, I'm from Russia. And I was like, where you going? And he was like, yeah, he's just so laid back. I think that's why he gets the girls. He's so laid back and just like so chill. And like, everybody loves BJ, man. That's my nephew, man. Love that kid.
Nah, yeah, he's good people for sure. People used to ask if we were brothers, and we'd be like, honestly, at a point, we just started saying, yeah. Like, we were like, yep, that's my brother.
So I know you know my brother then. My brother, he coaches at Tulsa Central, Wyland Terrell, T-Boy. T-Boy, Coach Terrell. He coached at Tulsa Central.
Yeah.
He was at Hale, but now he's at Tulsa Central. Yeah, so I knew we knew the same people, man.
Oh, yeah, man. Tulsa's small, and there's, like, even less black people. So, like...
Exactly, man. Listen, man, before we get out of here, I want you to give me your 5-year plan right now. Where are you going to be at in 5 years?
In 5 years?
Where are you going to be living in 5 years? Where are you going to be living?
I'll be 31. Honestly... I probably will relocate to the West Coast.
I want to hear no probably. I want to hear I'm gonna be. I don't. Nah,
all right. You're right. I'm gonna be on the West Coast. I'm gonna have my little honey with me.
I know that's right.
I'll probably have a kid.
Nothing wrong with that.
Like, that one has to stay a probably. That one has to stay a probably. But I will be on the West Coast. I'll be with my honey, and I'll be in the UFC. I promise you that I will be in the UFC. If not already the champion, I'm gonna be there.
And what weight class?
135. This is home. I like bantamweight.
And who you gonna fight for the title?
Whoever thinks they're ready.
Oh, I love that. Okay, and how you gonna do it? You gonna knock him out, choke him out? What are you gonna do? How you gonna win the championship fight? How do you see it going?
How do I see it going? Ooh, honestly. I've learned from experience. I don't know exactly how, I never say exactly how I'm going to finish it. I just say I'm going to finish it, and then I'm going to go from there.
That's what I'm talking about, brother. Oh, my God. Dude, wish you nothing but the best, but, man, you got this, man. I mean, you got this. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Great head on your shoulders. You got a great foundation. I know you ain't going to lose that. I don't even know why I'm saying all this, man, because you know you got it. You know you got it. You're going to put the work in. You're going to be champion. And then I'm going to be watching Netflix and go, the new superhero series, Quiet Storm. I go, that son of a bitch. And I'll know.
Like that motherfucker.
I'll be like Marcellus Wallace, motherfucker. Yeah. So I know that's what you're going to do, bro. You're going to be great. Michael, the Hybrid Billups, thank you so much for being a guest on Tales from a Gemini. I mean, anything else, anybody you want to shout out right now or before we get out of here?
Shout out to Apollo's Karate. I just want to say thank you guys, and to Mr. Cook, thank you for allowing me, this platform to be able to even get here on your show. Shout out to Brothers Jiu-Jitsu. I love you guys. I'll see you guys at practice today. And man, shout out to my management, Hawker Family Sports and Entertainment. Love you guys. Sharpside Barbershop. If y'all in Tulsa, come get a haircut from my brothers. They white, but they're invited to the barbecue. And yeah, man, go love on y'all's people today. It's a beautiful day.
There you go, man. You heard it. Michael, the Hybrid Billups. Follow this guy. He's going to be champion. I know he's from Oklahoma, and that's what we do, man. All we do is win, 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 win.
All day. Keep the smile.
That's right, bro. Thank you so much, man. Good luck in your life. Thank you so much for watching Tales from a Gemini. I'm BT, and like we say about this time, you know the word. Peace.